Awesome. We'll get started here. Welcome inside the press room at the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship presented by P&G. We're joined by Arkansas alum and Solheim Cup Captain Stacy Lewis. Stacy, what's it like being back in Arkansas?
It's awesome. I always love coming back. This time of the year, I love this. The fall in Arkansas is probably my favorite. The leaves haven't quite started changing yet, but it's an awesome time of the year to be here, and it's hard to believe it's year 16.
What have you been doing since you've been back? Have you seen some familiar faces, old friends?
Yeah, been running. Feels like we've just been running from one thing to the next. We had a deal on Monday night with my sponsor Stevens. I had Maria, Gabby, and Brooke, and my coach Shauna there, and we kind of did a little Q&A and got to see a lot of people there. And then, Pro-Am, and just throughout the week, just being here, at the Pro-Am party, just seeing a lot of familiar faces, and it's been a lot of fun so far.
Being back at this golf course, Pinnacle Country Club, obviously a place with which you're very familiar. That first, amateur win in 2007. What kind of memories kind of flood back here when you step onto this property?
Gosh, a lot. I mean, even I can go back to in college. We played a home event here a couple years. But yeah, I mean that honestly, the win in 14 is probably the most special. Just thinking of the putts I made down the stretch and making that one on 18, and then I remember sitting inside here in the clubhouse with Shauna, just waiting for the end, and learning that I won, and just having her there and the celebration that ensued. So it's just I have so many memories here. It's hard to pick one. I mean, it's such a cool place for me. It's a cool week. It's cool to see how the town has grown, how the city has grown. We were at dinner last night talking about, I think the first year of the tournament, the Pinnacle exit wasn't even here. I mean, the exit off the highway wasn't even here. So it's just really amazing to see the change to this community, and how the community continues to support the event.
Now that you've been named, obviously, United States Solheim Cup Captain, I'm sure you've been back here since that announcement, but being back here now and having that role, a really elevated role in women's golf, like, what's that been like? Have people been, like, fangirling over?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I get a lot of questions about what are you working on? What are you doing? It's so cool. And how busy are you? Just a lot of questions. People just kind of want to know what's going on, and which I think is great. We're creating some buzz around it, and girls are excited. I did a dinner last night with 4 potential rookies, just to help them be a little bit more comfortable with the process, and they're excited. They're wide-eyed, and they want to hear all the stories, and it's just cool to, I remember that process 11, 12 years ago, and so it's just cool to see it through their eyes.
What does it mean for you to be able to? I mean, obviously you've played on lots of Solheim Cups, but what has it meant for you to represent this community, represent now you live in Texas, but be able to represent all your different communities being in this role now?
I mean, I just think back to all the people that have helped me to get to where I am, and I've specifically thinking of Shauna. I mean, I've had some great coaches in my life, and a lot of what I'm doing with these girls is what she did with our team when I was here, and little things that she did, and trying to create the right environment and what you expect out of your players and things like that. I just I always say I wouldn't be the person or the player that I am if I hadn't come to the University of Arkansas, and it continues. The trend continues into this role as captain. I mean, I just think of all the things I've learned from Shauna over the years and how much of it I'm putting into this year's team.
We're almost exactly 1 year away, 364 days, I think, technically, from the Solheim Cup. I mean, how's your prep going? I'm hearing that you're getting some help from one of your partners.
I am. So, well, first we finalized the clothes this week, so clothes are done, so we can check something off the list. I am. So this is something that I've been working on for a couple of months now. I was reading a book about last year's Ryder Cup and got wind of the stats programs that the U.S. team and the European team have used for the last 3 Ryder Cups, and we, up until last year when KPMG started the Insights program, we haven't had stats. We've had fairways and greens and putts, and that's basically it. And you can't really get a whole lot out of that. And so we finally have stats, and I got excited reading this book. I'm like, wow, this could really help us. And so I started doing research, trying to figure out how I was going to make it happen, and kind of did interviews with both companies. And so 21st Group, which we already work with as a tour, they're the ones that help us kind of derive our stats. They put them all together and things like that. They actually work with the European team for the Ryder Cup, but they're going to work with us in Spain, help us, really dive into those stats. And then KPMG, of course, got wind that I was working on this, and they offered to pay for this entire thing for 2023. So, because it's expensive, it's not in our Solheim Cup budget. Budget was set before I was captain, so so I knew I was going to have to get a little bit creative. But then when they stepped up and said, we want to help you, we want to make this captaincy easy. We want to make sure you have all the resources that the guys have had over the years, and just a natural progression for them of not only do we have stats now, but now we're being able to really use them.
It's kind of a move for equality, I'd take it.
It is. It truly is. I mean, if these guys have had it for the last 3, why shouldn't we have it? And sometimes you just got to get creative.
Awesome. If anybody would like to ask a question, if you'll step up to the mic in the room, or if you're on the Zoom, just please indicate in the chat. You'll be asked to unmute your mic. It looks like we might have a question in the room.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
Tyson Foods. I just wanted to ask, you were talking about coming here to be an Arkansas Razorback and having such a strong tie to the University of Arkansas.
Yep.
You're sponsored by Tyson Foods. What's
Yes.
it like having a sponsorship from a company with such a strong tie to Arkansas?
Right. So I've known Mr. Tyson himself since college, and I tell you, right out of school, he was a huge sponsor of mine. It was before there was a logo on my shirt. He's been a huge supporter of mine over the years, and now it's just I'm really proud to wear this logo and to take it around the country. The number one question I get is, do I get free chicken nuggets? That's the number one question. But just the way Mr. Tyson and Tyson Foods has supported me over the years, not just now, but really from the start, has been really, really special. And I know he's cheering for me, and I know that everybody here at Tyson Foods is cheering as well.
We are. Thank you.
Thank you.
Speak a little bit to that Arkansas connection. A lot of the Razorbacks have been playing really well as of late. Maria Fossey spoke in Cincinnati about the mentorship she shared with you. Obviously, Gabby won a couple weeks ago in Toledo. You've kind of taken on a mentor role, which I'm sure somebody did for you back in your early days. What's that meant to you to be able to start to mentor some of the players from your alma mater and see them really have success out here? Yeah,
it's been really cool. I mean, to see Gabby's success and kind of the, riding the roller coaster a little bit, and then to see Maria really working through a lot of stuff over the last 2 years. And I think the coolest part is they're listening. You can tell these younger girls a lot of things, but they're actually listening and they're paying attention. And, I had a lot of great people that helped me along the way, and just kind of, I guess I'm getting to that age where it's now I'm in that position of helping these younger players. And I know they're watching, I know they're paying attention. They're noticing the little things, and I guess it's just kind of a natural thing, because I had so many great players help me out that now it's my turn.
Speaking of that, looking at the rest of the season as a player, obviously you have all of these different hats that you wear now, but you're still out here trying to compete.
Yes.
How would you have assessed your 2022 so far with just a handful of events left?
Frustrating. The golf's been frustrating. It definitely hasn't been where I wanted it. Obviously, the week at Dow with Maria, we played really well together, but outside of that, it's kind of been inconsistent, been a roller coaster. But for these last few events, I really want to make it to CME, kind of keep my streak going there. So that's really the focus is, these next 3 weeks, try to have some good finishes and work my way back up there.
I feel like the last few captains we've had haven't really been in a playing capacity. Mm-hmm. How much more challenging does it make it to go out and compete when you have a lot of other things on your plate?
It's hard, but I feel like I'm a pretty good time manager, and just being really good about being where I am. And right now I'm Stacy the golfer, and then when I'm with my daughter, I'm with my daughter, and when I'm with last night I was Solheim Cup Captain. You know, it's just kind of putting different hats on and keep rolling with it. But it's been fun. I mean, it's been so great to be out here with these girls and just to help them feel a little bit more comfortable with being around me. I know, you know, some of those girls last night were a little bit starstruck, you know, the first time they played with me or first time they saw me. So it's just getting them to be a little bit more comfortable. It's going to help them, you know, going into next year and going into the Solheim Cup. So so it's important that I keep playing, and I enjoy it, and that's number one.
Got a pretty good pairing this week with Jennifer Cupcho and Gabby Lopez. You know, very connected to you, obviously. Yes. ESPN Plus is going to be out here for a second week. You're in one of the feature groups, obviously, for ESPN Plus. As somebody that's run the gamut, been on the LPGA Tour for as long as you have, how exciting is it to see, you know, ESPN Plus really take on a feature group, you know, streaming role and give us all of that coverage?
It's awesome. I mean, it's something that I've been pushing for a while, and I didn't obviously see any of it in Cincinnati, but I know I was part of a feature group and asked people that did watch it, and they said it was awesome. They said it was great, you know, and also just the announcers on how, you know, informed they were on the players and knowing players' stories and being able to tell that. So it's another avenue for fans to get to know us a little better, you know, especially with just watching one group all day. You really do get to know those players a little bit better. So so hopefully we can continue to kind of push the bar with that and make it something that we have every single week.
And then finally, if there are no other questions in the room or on Zoom, just looking ahead to this week, obviously talked about CME, but what are some of your goals here in Arkansas this week?
I'd love to have a chance to win on Sunday. I mean, I love being in contention here. It's so fun. I mean, it's always a birdie fest. I mean, I don't think you can go into this tournament saying, I want to win. You know, it's, scores are low. You got to go make a ton of birdies, and just hopefully be close enough on Sunday that you can make a run. So, you know, it's a sprint, and you just got to do the best you can.
Someone with that?
Yep.
Oh, you have one more? Okay. Got one more in the room.
Stacy, you mentioned your daughter. I just wondered if she's here, what you've been able to tell her. I know she's young, but tell her about Arkansas and being here and what's it like playing with her as a working mom.
Yeah, she is here. She pretty much travels with me every week. Our daycare program is so great. It's honestly, it's easier on my husband and I to just have her out here with me. And, you know, she knows we're in Arkansas. She doesn't quite understand it all. It's funny to see her, you know, she sees my picture in various places around, whether it's the hotel or here. But I mean, I think she knows how special this place is. She will at some point. I'm trying to push the Go Hogs for this weekend, especially that we have a house divided. My husband's the coach at Texas A&M, so just pushing the Go Hogs right now so that she's cheering for the right team on Sunday.
I guess one more follow-up to that. Have you taught her the Woo Pig Suey yet?
Oh yeah, she knows. She doesn't know the whole thing, but she goes Woo Pig Suey. So we'll get her going on the right track.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to it. Good luck out there this week.
Thank you.
Thank you.